Morning, everybody. My name is Jared Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on in these live practice streams. I like to share what I'm working on, how I'm trying to improve as a drummer who's been playing for almost 30 years. Inside of this playlist, there's over 400 live streams of me practicing limb independence on the drum kit, snare drum stuff, or tenor drum stuff, with timestamps in the description to show what I was working on or what question I was answering. Because I've been drumming for so long and because I've taught every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student, I'll get questions where people ask me about like how to improve as a performer, how to improve as an educator, etc. So I edit a lot of those responses and put them into this drumming tips playlist. There's over 15 hours of free drumming tips inside of here with timestamps in the descriptions to show like what was I talking about. The first thing that I talk about is whatever the title is. So for example, what moves with traditional grip? And if it says and other drumming tips or and other teaching tips, I can't talk this morning, then that means there's more topics in there that might be of interest. So if you're not interested in inverted rolls, maybe you're interested in the other stuff that is in the timestamps in there. Now, I am going to be practicing Blue Devil's 1996 shopping spree today. Now, in order to get motivated to do that, I'm going to have Shia LaBeouf here help me out. So, Shia, help me. It's a hard spree. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Wow, Shia LaBeouf. Thank you so much. I am tired of starting over. I will stop giving up. All right. If you go to the link that's at the top of the screen, jaredoleary.com/drum. This is also the link at the top of all the thousands of play-alongs. This takes you to a website where I've got everything organized neatly. There's now 80 chop exercises in this section. So, for example, there's like 20 some odd chug variations. There's just under 30 shopping sprees. There's a bunch more different stuff in here. So a lot of these are playlists, not just individual exercises. There's over 1,000 grid variations here, 419 for triplet, 577 for 16th note, 36 wacky ones like Hurt to Grid. Limb independence, there's 55 charts, both straight and swung, as well as a bunch of stuff that you can use to practice like your limb independence with the permutations inside of here. And then every one of those playlists links to how to develop limb independence on the drum kit. If you're not sure how to do that, the steps at the beginning of that help out with that. There's almost 500 marching bass exercises. I highly recommend focusing on the timing stuff and then the splits timing after that. If you are interested in cadences, there's a bunch of drumline cadences in score format, and there's just under 400 technique exercises to work on endurance and speed, to work on building up your rudiments, your rolls, whatever you want to do. Just click on a playlist that looks interesting for something you want to work on, and there's likely something inside of there that will help you out. Like, this axe and tap playlist has a bunch of different axe and taps in it. Same thing with like the roll exercises, etc. If you scroll into the tips and lessons section, this is where you can find all the scripted lessons, like how to hold traditional grip or like how to practice quietly. But this one is the one that has the 15 plus hours of drumming tips in here where I was answering questions from the different live stream chats and whatnot. So check that out if you're interested in it. There's a lot more content in here than meets the eye. Literally 15 hours of content just in that playlist alone. Now, I'm going to work on Blue Devil's 1996 shopping spree today. So if I go into the shopping spree playlist, there are a bunch of different Blue Devil sprees, as well as sprees for other organizations. Like, just added the SCV shopping spree exercises like an hour ago. There's a couple of RCC ones. You'll notice that most of these are members first. What that means is just early access for 99 cents. But I think almost all of these shopping sprees are coming out in the next month. So by this time in September, there will be, the majority of these will be available. So you don't need to like sign up for stuff. There's over like 400 and some odd different play-alongs that are currently scheduled for release. So you'll see a lot of members first videos, but there's still over 2,000 videos that, you know, you could use right now to practice. All right, so in the timestamps of all these thousands of free play alongs, there's BPMs. So this one starts as slow as 40, goes one click at a time, all the way up to 200 beats a minute. I'm going to start at 40, and I'm going to warm up with this. We're going to play through it 5 times, and then I'll stretch and massage, and then I'll start going up by 5s. So just trying to get the blood flowing. So this spree starts off just like 94 and 95, but the tag, the ending is different. This one's more involved than the last two. Cha-cha-cha. Cheese cha-cha-cha. Invert. Cheese invert. Sweet. So that is the 1996 shopping spree. We'll play through this a couple more times, and then we'll stretch your massage, and then we'll start going up by 5s. If you're brand new to learning something like this, this is a difficult exercise for you, just keep going up one click at a time. There's no shame in that. We're kind of speed running this today. So we'll go by 5s in a little bit. I can't talk. It's one of those mornings. Kind of a weird ending, but I like it. Weird in a good way. Yeah, like I feel like I want to play those singles faster for some reason. And I'm trying to think like in my head, like what would make me want to do that. I know it's like shorter. There's less singles. So the last one, it had 8 with the release as the 9th for the last couple of years. But this one, it's 6 with the release, making it 7. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to stretch and massage, and then I'll start going up by 5s. Again, just using this as a warm-up. Sweet. Let's stretch and massage. So the first one, the first one I want to do is going to stretch the side of the forearm. So if we do it like this, you hold your stick so that the palms are facing up. You pull in, you pull in, you push through. It feels great. Learned this from my first drum teacher. Thank you, Kyle. And it stretches the sides of the forearms. If you want to see a better camera angle of this, the video, This Hand Routine Saved My Drumming, shows you a better angle for all these different stretches, as well as some extra ones that I won't be demonstrating today. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearm. So I could do it like this. I could do it on my pad like I did a couple days ago. If you do it on the wall, the lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Ooh, it already feels good on my right hand, so I'm going to do it this way. Don't put all your weight into it. You don't want to rip your arms off. That would tickle a little bit. Now I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm, so you could do it like this, you could do it like this, you could do it like I did yesterday on your legs, or if you do it on the wall, the higher you go, the deeper the stretch while doing this. It's kind of like you're doing Thriller, like, but again, don't put all your weight onto it. All right, now I'm going to stretch thumb to thumb. So this makes it go twice as fast when you do it like this. Feels good. Yeah. And then index. And then middle finger. Little ASMR for you. Enjoy that. Ring. And then pinky. No, and in. Okay, next I'm going to massage. So I'm doing thumb on top, fingers are underneath, massaging up and down the forearm. Trying to loosen everything up. Then kind of switch it over like this. If you do traditional grip, you might need to massage your biceps and triceps. Your bicep actually moves up and down quickly while you're doing traditional. It's not like a strength thing. It's moving. You'll actually like physically see it. I don't know if the camera angle does justice, but the bicep moves as you rotate. So you might need a massage there. I don't know. It's your anatomy, not mine. And then switch to the other arm. Okay. Next, I'm going to massage the palm with the thumb, and then the fingers are going to massage the back side of the hand. So like this. Switch to the other hand. And then I got one more stretch that I'm going to do from the base to the tip of each one of the fingers. At least 2 or 3 times. Kind of, or massage, not stretch. I can't language today. It felt like that this whole week. Just one of those weeks. Can't think. Cool. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the shopping spree, and we'll pick up where we left off, so at 45, and then we'll start going up by 5s until my arms can't take it anymore, or until my brain is like, I don't know what I'm playing, which might be at like 50. So stay tuned. We'll see. Don, hello. Good morning. Practicing for your band today? Sweet. That'll be fun. That sounds like a good Sunday. I forgot to go up by 5s. Jared, wake up. No. Okay, fine. Sleep in. Your loss. Here we go. So used to like playing these, just going one click at a time. This whole skipping around by fives is foreign to me. You know, I'm going to leave off those rim shots just because I love this pair of sticks. They're super heavy hammers, and I don't want to, you know, damage them. I've had them for a long time, so I want to keep them. Like, compared to, like, the other, like, hammers that I've used, these are much weightier, which is great. That's what I want them for. But if you want to work on your rim shots, go for it. What do I think about Boston's win? Well deserved. I saw them in the lot in Arizona, and oh boy. Obviously, I didn't see what it was like on the field, but they're playing some notes. I mean, so are a lot of drum lines this year. Blue Coats are great. Vanguard's great. Blue Devils are great, despite people saying otherwise. They just had a really hard break at the start of the year with those add-ins. Woo! What do you think, though? Did you enjoy the Boston this year? The Crusaders? I thought it froze for a second. I was like, I clicked. Here we go. Faster than any shopping spree ever played before. 60 beats a minute. Oh my goodness. Mouse. The different shots and whatnot just like make it so that it just like randomly clicks. Boring? Oh no! You don't like the shopping spree? Well, you can play it faster. We'll get there. We're just going up 5 clicks at a time. There's like 28 more shopping sprees that you can pick from if you prefer other ones. 70. Here we go. Yeah, so whatever BPM you want. You can go one click at a time faster. So you could jump all the way up to 200 if you want. Or slow it back down to 40, whatever you want to do. Your practice session, not mine. Thank you for the sub. If you like this playing along, there's over 2,000 more on my home tab of YouTube. Free. Now we go through 75. But again, I'd recommend going up by ones, but because there's like so many sprees coming out over this month, I'm going up by fives. So every other day we'll play through a new shopping spree that releases, and then in between those days we'll do limb independence. So that's what I'll be working on tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. 80. Actually, before we do that, so I'll just go here. So on the home tab, beep, 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 scrolling down. So there's 80 chop exercises inside of here. This shopping spree playlist has 29 of them. And again, like almost all of them are coming out in the next month, every other day. So stay tuned for that. So if you don't like this spree, well, there's a bunch more. Like we're just kind of going in order. But 97 shopping spree is good. The 99 spree is probably one of my favorite Blue Devils ones. But there's 2003, 2004, 2000. Blue Knights 2011 is a great one. The FSU one is interesting. The RCC one is short but sweet. Starts off the left hand. What? But yeah, there's a bunch of sprees coming out. And then there's over 2,000 other exercises. So like over 1,000 grid variations. You have to click the header to actually show all of the playlists for all the different rudiments. But like for, I don't know, just flam drags, there's 28 videos inside of there. For triplet, for 16th note, there's 33 videos in there. So there's a lot. Limb independence, we'll do that tomorrow. Marching bass was almost 500 exercises in there. There's a bunch of cadences, almost 400 technique exercises. This is another one of those ones where you have to click to show all of the different playlists. So if you want to work on stick control, cool. There's like, I don't know, a dozen variations in there. No, there's more than that. There's 15 videos in there. There's a bunch of roll exercises, etc. And then when people ask me questions, as opposed to, you know, wasting everybody's time by being native, I will often answer them and put them into this drumming tips playlist. There's over 15 hours of tips in here. And then there's some scripted lessons, and then all 400 plus live streams, which is kind of like office hours where I'm just here practicing. And if you got questions about how to drum or how to teach, then I'll answer it as somebody who's been drumming for almost 30 years and has taught every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student, in a variety of context. Late. Thank you for the like. Such a weird ending. I like that. Interesting. It's kind of quirky. All right, 85. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Mizu Oishii desu. Stay hydrated, folks. Especially if you live in a desert like I do. All right. 3,000 beats a minute. Here we go. I can do it. Believe in myself. Just do it. I just feel like it needs 2 more notes right there. Just like the previous 2 years. They're changing things up. Forgot if Carter was on the line this year. I think this may have been his age out year. 96. I forget though. But GG's to them. They got 2nd place in drums. That's awesome. Consistently throwing down. I left off a grace note. I'm so sorry. I will create a formal apology video right now. So we're going to end the stream because I missed a grace note. Oh no. The tragedy. Next, we're at 3 digits. Whoa. This is faster than Blue Devils played it. That's a joke. What the? Why'd I do that? Darn ghost. So as a joke, right before the Flam 5s, I played like Ghost Flam accents, but... So you're just basically stopping the stick, right before you play. So you can do Ghost Flam drags as well, and it just sounds like... As opposed to... So if you want a fun trick to work on, there you go. You're welcome. Doitashimashite. 105. Here we go. This time without the mouse. Scrolling down, please. Stay. Be a good mouse. screwed up again. So I don't, for whatever reason, I don't want to make that a cheese. I just want to make it a diddle. Who knows? My brain is like buffering this morning. It's a little slow. It's just one of those days. Late. Mm-hmm. 1:15. I have no idea how fast we'll play this today, but we'll find out. Probably at least 40 beats a minute. Just a guess. Mm-hmm. 1:20. Whoop. Thank you for the react. 1:25. And again, if this is too fast for you, that's okay. Slow it down. No shame. We started at 40. You can too. If I can do it, you can do it. It's like a potato chip. Nice and crispy. It's a fun spree, right, Lloyd? It just feels like there should be 2 more notes there. I know it's just the recency bias of playing the other sprees. We're at 1:30 now, right? Yeah. 1:30. Yeah, the way that you get these like rhythms nice and crispy, thank you for the sub, is by practicing slow. I talk about that in the drumming tips playlist, which has 15 hours of tips. That's how you get better. What do I know? $135. Now it's like a mental thing, like, because I don't have this memorized, like, still kind of reading through it. At least the last line. We'll see. We'll see. Brain's a little slow. A little late on that left, on the singles there. No, it's like my foot yesterday while doing that first limb independence one, 41.1. Slightly late. Sloppy. But my arms did not burst into flames. We did not trigger the fire extinguisher that my wife is holding off camera. She's ready to go. That was better than the previous run. Still not great, but I mean, you know, we just worked on it. This is like a data collection month. I'm going to play through each one of the sprees that releases every other day. And just see which one do I want to work on. Something is making my like mouse like right click, so like on my other monitor it like popped up. It was like, what's that error message? Kind of hard to pay attention to that while trying to play that last line. Good timing, mouse. Appreciate you. Jump scare. Thought the stream crashed again. It's fun at these fast tempi. And yes, that is plural for tempo. You can also say tempos. It's too fast. But we need to go faster. It didn't completely crash and burn. I mean, one might say my technique is, but it's like, it's passable. My arms are dead. All right. I like it. It's fun. Yay. So tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, 2 days from now, there's another variation of this exact same spree that's coming out. So if we go back to, there we go, the home tab. So inside of the shopping spree playlist, or the chop one, whatever one you want to do, but in this chop section, the shopping spree one, a new one of these is releasing every other day. So like this one comes out in 2 days. It's the same spree, but like in some lot recordings, they played this different variation. So instead of an upbeat version of these two measures, they actually changed the rhythm to 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and then they do that with the diddle. Otherwise, it's the same spree. So, just FYI. Sometimes, like, you'll hear, like, in the RCC shopping spree, Maury spree, this one, in the second line, they'll sometimes, they'll sometimes do single strokes, and then sometimes you'll see some lock clips where they do a pair diddle at the end. So, I like to try and give, like, the different alternative variations of these, if y'all are interested in those. But there's there's a bunch of shopping sprees in here, as well as just a bunch of other chop exercises. Let's scroll down. So I'm gonna chop out here, and I'm gonna chop out with a float drag variation. So we're gonna do it with flam drags, and we're gonna try and get this as fast as possible, going up 10 clicks at a time. So I'm gonna start off at like 120, just a nice comfortable tempo, and then we'll see how fast we can go. So if this is too fast for you, that's okay. You can slow this one all the way down to 40, like it's starting right now. Every click in between. This helps you to practice listening in and whatnot, so you can play along to it and go, my diddle is slurred out, or my diddle is rushed, or oh, I'm playing that rhythm wrong. There's over 2,000 play-alongs on the home tab. Just go to a different section, like technique, grid, whatever. Drag, drag, float drag, flam drag, float drag, flam drag, float drag, flam drag. Off the left. Okay, so this one. First two lines, check. Does it off the right, does it off the left. And then you fill it in with some kind of a rudiment. And this particular play along is with flam drag. So we have flam drag, float drag. So float drag is a flam drag with 2 extra notes in it, but you put a diddle on the 4th note of the 5. So, for example, float flam drags. Float cheese, same idea. You put a diddle on the 4th note. Float fives. And you can do like float chut cheeses, etc. There's a lot of variations in this particular playlist, but let's just do the flam drag. Going up a 10s. Whee! Click. If the BPM ends with a 0 or a 5, so like 130 or 135, it'll give you a few seconds to get ready. Otherwise, it immediately taps off. Jonathan, that's a really good question. So, for background, for context, I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education. So I've taught every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student, and have gone as far as you can go with it. So I have a range of experiences with teaching. My primary instrument was actually marching on snare drum. And by being good at one instrument, it opens up doors so that way you can get into the really higher top tier ensembles. But when you start actually teaching, you're going to want to be able to teach all the instruments. So for example, I had to learn how to play the tenors. I had to learn how to do bass. And then like as a concert percussionist, I already knew how to do like mallets and things like that. So learning all the different instruments will make you a much better educator over time. But what I recommend doing is focusing on one as your primary instrument to open up doors to be able to get into like the top tier ensembles. So you can learn from the best instructors that you possibly can, but also spend some time learning other instruments. So don't just be a snare drummer. Don't just be a marimba player. Learn how to do all the things. So like I've had some students who were just snare drummers or who were just marimba players, and they ended up learning more instruments so that way they could teach and work with more different types of students. So as the caption head for the different drum lines that I used to teach at, because I could play all of the instruments, I could teach all of the instruments, even though my primary was the snare drum. So hopefully that helps give you an answer there. Focus on one to open up the doors, but then spend some time learning all the other ones so that way you can learn how to teach it. And you don't have to do that right now, but that's something that you can do in the future. So great question, though. I'm glad you're planning ahead for all that kind of stuff. And focus on learning how to lead now and learning how to start teaching. I started teaching in high school, and it was good overall. Learning experience. Thank you for the sub. also, I will say that on my home tab, there's a lot of stuff about teaching that can help you, as well as learning all the different instruments. I'll show you in a second. So, in my home tab, whoop. So if you scroll down, down, past all these thousands of play-alongs, inside of the drumming tips playlist and the drumming lessons playlist, there's things that can help you to become a better educator as well as a better performer. So for example, from an education standpoint, there are some videos that are dedicated to like teaching things. So if it says and other teaching tips, that means I talk about like pedagogy and things like that. I spent like a whole almost 15 minutes talking about whether or not it's worth it to get a doctorate in music education, because somebody asked about that. But all these other ones that say drumming tips, then that's more of like how to play. But there's a bunch of them that are also specifically on how to teach, so that can help you. But there's videos like, what's the number for it? Intro to tenor playing zones, number 67. So like that video is like good for getting an introduction to like learning the basics of like tenors, etc. So there's a lot of suggestions on how to practice bass drum, how to practice tenors, how to practice snare, etc. in here. There's over 15 hours of drumming tips and a bunch of different tips in there. So not only look at the content that I'm teaching, so that way you can learn as a performer, but also look at the ways that I'm teaching it. So you'll notice that sometimes people ask similar questions and I'll answer it in different ways across these 100+ videos. And so the reason why is because it's good to approach teaching from many different angles, because for some students, you might explain it one way and it works great. And then for other students, you'll explain it a completely different way, and that works even better for them, but not for the other group. So look at not just what I'm teaching, but how I'm teaching it and why I'm doing it that way, and go, how else could I explain it that would be different from the way that Jared explained it in this? Because this is just one time of me answering it in each one of these. But there are many ways that I can explain stuff to work with like different students and whatnot. I recommend that for other educators. There are some like less experienced educators who will be like, there's one way to teach this thing. You haven't taught enough students, I don't think. It's okay. Keep practicing. 160. I think 180 might be my breaking point today. Maybe 190. We'll find out. Stay tuned. Today's episode of Hit Drum Fast. Mouse keeps sliding. 170. Again, if I'm getting to a point where it's too fast for you, it's okay. Slow it down. Go up one click at a time if you're refining an exercise like this or the shopping spree I was playing earlier. No shame. What drum corps have I marched? I marched for the academy for 5 summers. And then I got into a car accident and it damaged my knee, so I couldn't march summers 6 or 7. But there's a video how I went from, what's it called? Oh, I forget the name of it. It just came out. We'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so if you go back to the home tab and scroll down. Under the drumming lessons, there's a video that just came out on Monday. Yeah, this one. I went from center snare to end snare twice. And it's actually got some pictures like that one from when I was marching there. So it's an interesting story. A bit dramatic, though. Just FYI. 90. This might be it. This might be it. Stay tuned. Today's episode of Hit Things Fast. Jeffrey, good morning. Do I know any quad players and crossmen from 04 and 05? Ooh, maybe. That's so long ago. I can't remember in 05 Vanguard when they did match grip. I think some of the tenor players came over to the snare line. I forget though. That was forever ago. I have like drummed with like some of their staff and like some of the members of the different drum lines, but I don't know if the staff member I'm thinking of was teaching over there. But I don't know. Why do you ask? We're gonna try it. Thank you for the like. This isn't gonna go good. So the sticks that I'm using, if you go to the second link that's on here, this takes you to /gear on my website, which has like all these like different books that I recommend. Most of these are affiliate links, by the way, so thank you for people who've used it. You can literally click on one of these and buy groceries, and I get like 4% back from Amazon. But the sticks that I'm using are the Hardeman hammers. Oh, they work your chops. They're great though. I love them. 10 out of 10. And they're double taped, so they're extra heavy. If you go to /drum, though, that takes you to here. Same content you can find on my YouTube channel on the home tab, but it's just, organized neater. So, for example, here's 80 chop exercises. Like, there's almost 30 chug variations. There might even be 30. There's 29 chopping sprees. We just worked on one of them earlier today. There's over 1,000 grid variations on here. Pick a rudiment, stick with, like, that rudiment on one, like flam 5 on one, or I don't know, diddle on one, etc. And then just have fun with that for a while. And then you can get into the wackier stuff. So don't worry about like book reports off the left every 5 notes or something. Don't worry about that. Not right now, at least. We've also got all the limb independence stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to be practicing that. And oh boy, we're playing a doozy of a limb independence pattern. So towards the end of the stream, I'll just be having myself even just attempting to play quarter notes with it. Stay tuned. We've also got almost 500 marching bass drum exercises. I'd focus on the timing exercises. Splits timing also simulates what it's like being on a bass line. You'll see when you actually play through it. We've got some drumline cadences, almost 400 technique exercises. If you are marching, I'd recommend spending at least 50, if not 60% of your time on these exercises. It will help you to work on your 3s and 4s, or your 5-stroke roll timing, or your accent taps, or whatever. Just pick a playlist for something that you're working on, like your flams, and then just pick one of the exercise and sit with it for a while. Start slow, let it go one click at a time, blah, 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 blah. And then finally in the tips and lessons, there's over 15 hours of tips in here. All these scripted videos and whatnot, and then this particular playlist has 15 hours of tips that I recommend for you to be able to improve. Your high school drum tech, March Crossman, 04 through 08. I can't drum. I can't speak. 04 through 08 on his squad. That's awesome. Yeah, I may have met them at some point, but yeah, I don't know. Why, hello, PM. What can you do as a high schooler to help increase the size of your drum line? You're a freshman. Sorry, I can't see. You had 635. So one of the ways that you can increase the size of your drum line is by creating what is sometimes referred to as like a B line or like a trainer line, either at your high school that works with the so-called feeder schools, the schools like the middle schools that go into your high school, and then do that as like a recruitment opportunity. but having some way to make it so that younger percussionists or people who want to become percussionists later in their years can actually like jump in at a starting point that works for them without like jumping into the A line where it's like right off the bat you're getting into some harder stuff. So like some way to help train them to just figure out, how do I even hold the sticks? How do I move while holding a drum? Just doing very basic like tracking on the field or whatever. Maybe even not that, maybe just standing and playing. But that was one of the ways that I did it at the schools that I worked at. Like we had a variety of percussion ensembles as well that had like a range of different abilities. Some really easy ensembles and some very complicated ensembles. And so people could kind of like go into it at their level. But it made it so that we had some people who were like juniors and seniors who had never played before, who actually were able to join because we had the training to help like catch them up, basically. So if you wanted to start late, you had that opportunity. But another way to do it is to just have like the drumline go and perform either for your peers at the high school or at the middle school, to kind of like, hey, this is a thing that you can do. Make sure you sign up. Here's where you can go on our website where you can learn more. Here's the exercises, blah, 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 blah. All that can help out with that. But know that it takes time. It can take a few years sometimes for you to like build up a program. But yeah, it's worth the efforts. Anyways, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to get ready for Dishonored. So we're in the DLC right now. But if you enjoy any of these free resources, there's literally thousands of them. Just share it with somebody else. So on my home tab is where you can find it, or on my website. If you see any video that's like this, that says members first, it's scheduled to release for free. So it's not behind like a permanent paywall. If you click the join button, it is 99 cents. That's the lowest I could possibly make it on YouTube to be able to get the 400 plus videos. But I promise they're all coming out. It just might be in like 420 days or something like that from now. I think there's 427 videos. But anyways, here's all the chop stuff, the grid, limb independence, marching, bass, drum stuff, scores, technique, and then over 15 hours of tips on there. And there's merch, yeah, like Ghost Note. But yeah, I rarely mention that kind of stuff. I feel like a salesman when I do that. I just want people to use the free resources. That's the goal. So anyways, I'm going to call it. I appreciate you all. Tomorrow we'll do limb independence. 2 days from now, I'll be back working on the other variation of 1996 shopping spree. You want V-necks? I don't know if the print on demand does the V-necks. I can look into that though, Roy. And good morning. But I hope you have a good day. Share these resources. If you don't like these resources, share them with an enemy. Goodbye.